Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi Midi. I want to laugh saying that because I was having a conversation about my name. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Um, I'm really excited about this demo and review. This is product called SWAM Saxophones by Audio Modeling. This is the first time I've ever used this. Well, yesterday was. I just downloaded it and I've been having so much fun. I'm really excited about it. Um, so what is this? This is a sound modeling engine. Sorry if I'm talking weird. It's because I have a slight delay in my voice. I'm gonna try to fix that real quick. One second. Well, this is gonna have to do for now. Anyway, so this is not your regular type of sample library. Actually, it's not a sample library at all. This is a sound modeling library, meaning that an algorithm. I always say algorithm, but that's all I know because I'm not a programming person. An algorithm is used to create the physics of or replicate the physics of an instrument. In this case, it's a saxophone, and audio modeling did a fantastic job, as you can hear from the demo. This is by far the most realistic, most expressive saxophone I've ever heard. Now, SWAM Saxophone comes with four different saxophones. It's the alto, soprano, tenor, and bari. And I'm going to give you a demo of those in just a little bit. But what I love about this, what I loved about it from the beginning was that I didn't read the manual, and you might get mad at me about that, but I really love plugins that you could just kind of figure it out on your own, where the layout is pretty logical, or it's similar to other libraries you've used, or it's pretty intuitive. And this one is definitely intuitive. For example, in the default mode, you can't see it right now, but I have a foot controller right here on my right foot, and then I have the sustain pedal on my left foot. It's set to react to the expression pedal. If you don't have an expression pedal, this is okay, but the expression pedal is controlling the dynamic. So you can't see it right here, but I'm moving my foot forward, and it's controlling the dynamic. And because it's modeled, you don't have that transition between sample layers like in other sample libraries or in sample libraries. This is what kind of makes them sound unrealistic, is that they record the saxophone note in piano, which means soft, and then mezzo piano, which is medium soft, mezzo forte, medium loud, and then forte, which is loud. And you could hear the transitions from dynamic levels. On this one, there's no step. It's just all smooth. It's linear. Thanks, Fundrin. 15 watching and only 2 likes. Well, that's because not everybody is signed into their accounts, but that's okay. It's just really fun to play. So the mod wheel right now, it's controlling vibrato. And the way it's set right now, depending on how hard I hit the notes, it affects the attack. When I hit it softly, it has a delay. It also affects the transition between notes. For example, if I play from G to B softly, you can hear a portamento. Hi Tim, hi Bike Rider. I set it up a little bit differently than the default. So let's go over these things right here. Right here you have your master tuning. You can tune by sense, the reverb. Put a lot of reverb on this. And the thing about this is that since it is a sound modeling engine and it's not sample based, it's going to take a very small footprint on your RAM. However, it's going to use your computer's processing power, so you're going to need to either have a powerful computer, or you're going to have to set your buffer setting pretty high so that it could keep up with it. Although if you set your buffer setting high, you're going to feel a little bit of latency, meaning when you press a note, you're going to hear the sound come just a little bit delayed. And then we have our transpose buttons. You can set your pitch bend down. Right now it's set to 3 half steps. And then upward, right now the default is set to a whole step or 2 half steps. Pan pot, that's which side you want it to be on, left side, right side. And the main volume. And right here, this we have different meters showing where your expression level is, your pitch bend, velocity, vibrato. This is very helpful. Then we have certain articulations that are triggered via key switching, but you can also change how you access those. Right now it's set to C1, so this is the fall. It's very nice. I don't know what this is set to right now. Then we have an overblow, which is cool. Gives it a bit more realism whenever you could have those little mistakes or extra articulations. Here's another cool one, is the breath noise. I have it set all the way up because I like hearing the breath in there. It's especially prominent whenever you're playing at pianissimo. And over here in the options menu, you have the option to add a breath whenever you're playing pianissimo, which is PPP. So I'm gonna put the expression all the way down with my foot so that it's at its quietest. And you're not gonna hear a tone, but you're gonna hear that breath in there. Let me know if you can hear it. You can definitely hear the key noise too. The way this plugin is set up, you're very involved as a musician when you're playing. It's not just pitch bend and notes. Your foot's involved. Your thinking is involved because you have to do the key switching. But that's only for live playing or if you're live recording. You can also control these parameters via programming. So if you've seen my other videos on programming instruments, you can do this all in the MIDI editing menu of your DAW. Hey David. Hi Rafaela, thank you very much. All right, let's talk about the other features. So you have lots of control, and that was the mission of audio modeling. According to their website, they wanted something that was completely expressive, and as musicians we want to be as expressive as we can. I don't like being limited to the plugin. Now the advantage with sampled instruments like Mojo horns or even Session Horns Pro, which I absolutely love and I use all the time, the advantage of those is that you're hearing an actual saxophone, so it's the real thing. And my experience with modeling engines is that they kind of fall short For example, mono bass sounds great. It sounds great in a mix, but when you're like really listening to the tone and all the sounds that are found on a bass, it kind of falls short in some areas, and you can tell that it's not the real thing. This this is very, very convincing. Yeah, SWAM stands. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, SWAM or SWAM. What is it? It's called Synchronous Waves Acoustic Modeling. That's what that stands for. No, but the company is Audio Modeling, not Sample Modeling, because they're not samples. Sample modeling is only making contact-based libraries. Oh, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. Thunderin. What am I saying there? 4, 5 mo. I don't know what you mean, David. All right, so fall down. Let's hear that. Overblown. Okay, good. Harmonic structure. I'm not sure what this is. Like I said, I didn't read the manual. I like to go into a plugin and see if I could figure it out on my own. If it's a plugin that you have to dig deep in a menu to figure out how to use it, I don't typically bother with it unless the sound is worth it, because there are so many instruments out there, and if you're a producer or somebody into film scoring, having to learn the ins and outs of software goes against your workflow. It interrupts your workflow, I think. All right, model resonance, release, compressor. All right, let's go into the options menu. This gives you more control, I think, and it's very simple. Like there are CC channels or control channels that are already like by default set to these different parameters like vibrato rate, vibrato random. This is very cool that you can control this. I think. Let me see if I can access that. So that's a very fast vibrato. Does it not sound good? So I think the default is a sweet spot right now, like 4.5. Let's go back. Expression curve, pan behavior, chromatic on, off, attack expression, bias. There's some I'd have to spend a little bit more time with, but so you have the breath, pitch bend range, attack start, key switch, octave transpose. This is very useful if you have a small keyboard and you can't reach those key switching. This is for like live recording. Then you have your MIDI mapping. This is cool. So they have default channels right here. Like my expression is set to my foot controller. But if you don't have a foot controller, if you want to use your mod wheel or like one of your faders, if you have one, or one of your knobs, you could press learn, and then move one of these, and it's going to detect it and learn it. I'm going to set it back to my control pedal. Then you can save it to the way that you want. This is very useful because like if you don't have to go back in and change the settings all the time. All right, let's hear the other instruments. Alto saxophone is probably the most popular type of saxophone. Then baritone. Oops, that's not Barry. Ruben, don't forget different models within one plugin. Sax 2, warm, and so on. So Sax 2 warm, where do I find that? Let's hear the growl and flutter tongue. Let me see if that's preset already. Oh yeah, it is. Nice. And flutter tongue, where are you? Right here. Can we combine them? That's amazing. The switch is located in the middle left part of the user interface. Middle left part of the user interface. Tell me if I'm warm. Okay, sax 2, warm, and so on. It might be right in front of me. Let's see. Oops, no, I don't want to do that. So, oh, I see. Here it is. That's cool. So these are presets right here. All right. Nice. I love presets. All right, let's listen to the soprano. You know, I actually kind of hate soprano saxophone. I think Kenny G ruined it for me. Let's hear a preset, maybe a warm sound. All right, and last but not least, tenor sax, my second favorite saxophone. That's not a tenor sax. I always forget with Pro Tools to activate a track. I love that portamento. See how it goes away when I hit it hard? Now there's so much more to this, obviously. I don't have time to go through everything, and I wanted to keep this kind of short. This costs about $250 in the US, and I think 250 euros, which is a lot more, I bet. But I think this is a great price for something this expressive, this realistic, and that doesn't take up a lot of RAM, because again, this is CPU intensive. So hopefully you have a powerful computer. At first I wasn't sure about this, but it's starting to grow on me. I know, right? You know what's funny is that I showed the saxophone player in my band. My band, he plays alto and tenor sax, and he gave a fake smile when I was showing this to him. I said, "Look, I'm going to replace you." Now he was a good sport about it, but I kind of wonder if in the back of his mind if he's wondering if like this is gonna keyboardists are gonna take over. I've said that before, especially keyboardists who are into sample libraries. Hey, thanks for joining me today. This is all I'm going to say about this product. I'm going to explore it a little bit more and see what other features there are. But I encourage you to go to their website. I think they allow you to try it out. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But hey, if you like to see more of these videos and you want to support my channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment telling me how much you love me. I love you all. If you want to support me financially, I have a link to my PayPal and Venmo. I know this is the awkward part. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time with more videos.